Hello, cool castaways. I really enjoyed being on this island with such energetic friends. You know, you remind me of the real ocean. You're so full of life and energy. Did you know that scientists are working on finding ways to turn those wild waves into usable, renewable energy? Isn't that just... Ah! Like I said, isn't that...
Don't!
Anyway, I think...
Help!
Brian, is that you?
Oh.
What on earth happened?
Hello. What do you mean? Oh, it's that silly, annoying, no good, conniving monkey. He keeps getting into my hut and stealing my food and messing with my stuff. So I decided to trap him with a fishing net I found. It didn't go so well.
Obviously not. It looks like you caught yourself.
I did. But I can't get out.
Would you let me help you here?
It's a mess.
This is a great big mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Everything's a mess.
It's gonna be okay, Brian.
It's just so hard. It's just so hard, friend. I know Jesus rescues, but it's so hard here. It's hard to find food. It's hard to find clean water. Excuse me. Sorry.
You know, Brian,
It's hard. It's hard to find shelter from the rain. It's hard.
and I know life is hard, but you know, I think that you would be complaining about other things that are hard even if you weren't on this island. We all struggle. But when you struggle, Jesus rescues.
So, even when I'm struggling here and think I'm alone, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus is here too.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel a little better.
Mm-hmm. We all have troubles and struggles, and Jesus is with you and will help you through those struggles.
Thank you, friend. I feel much, much better now. It's still really hard keeping that monkey out of my hut, though. He keeps taking my food. He keeps stealing my stuff. And my trap. You saw my trap. It didn't work so good.
No. And we can't get rid of the monkey, but maybe we can find ways to monkey-proof your hut.
Wow. Do you think it would work?
We sure can try some things without them being traps.
Thank you. You've been a very good friend. I'm going to get rid of this stuff and keep an eye out for the monkey.
All right, I'll be there in a few minutes and we can work on some ideas. You know, I'm really excited about our sail. We can see evidence of God in our lives all over the place when we look for God. We can actually use all of our senses to see God in our lives. So maybe you can use your sense of smell to find God. Maybe somebody baked you your favorite cookies, or they helped you bake your favorite cookies, and you could smell their love in fresh baked cookies. Obviously, I haven't smelt any cookies on this island. I'm just dreaming about them. But I did smell God last night in a fire. We built this fire and it helped dry us out last night after this tropical storm came and drenched us and got us soaking wet. So I smelt God in the fire. Make sure that you share the places that you have seen God in your life in the comments below so we can continue to patch up our sail on our raft. You know, sometimes life is really hard and we struggle with things. Kind of like the storm that came through last night on this island. It is so hard to stay dry on an island when you're in a hut and have nowhere else to go. Sometimes storms can make us feel afraid, out of control, or even small. And you know, sometimes our lives are just like storms, and life can get crazy and hard. Maybe you're feeling that way. Maybe somebody that you love is really sick, or maybe your best friend has moved away, and you are struggling. We all struggle with different things, but we remember that when we struggle, Jesus rescues. That is our Bible point for today. So we're going to try it real quick. Are you ready? When you struggle, Jesus rescues. You've got it. So even when we are all tangled up in, our troubles and the things that are going on, we can remember that Jesus listens, that Jesus guides us through the Bible, and that Jesus is always with us. So when you struggle, Jesus rescues.
I'm so glad you're here with me at Bible Discovery on Pajama Day. I can't wait to share today's Bible story with you. Today, we are discovering that when you struggle, Jesus rescues. To struggle means to make your way with difficulty. I understand what that means. I struggle with COVID-19 and the whole pandemic thing, especially having to wear my mask. I understand how important it is for me to wear it so I can protect other people from catching any germs I may have and to help keep me safe from catching their germs. But this mask, it's hot and it fogs up my glasses so I cannot see. So I pray to God a lot to keep me and my family and friends safe from the virus, and that God will give me the patience to wear my mask. In today's Bible story, we're going to see all kinds of struggles. Jesus is betrayed. Jesus had a good friend named Peter who was there when Jesus healed people and made miracles happen. Jesus liked Peter so much, he gave Peter the nickname, the Rock. Jesus had another friend named Judas. Peter, Jesus, and Judas, and the other disciples spent lots of time together. They were all together when Jesus told them that his life had to end. It was a sad and hard time for Jesus and his friends. Jesus felt so sad that he went to a quiet place in a garden and prayed. "Please, God," Jesus prayed, "make me strong. Help me trust you." Jesus asked the disciples to come to the garden and stay awake while he prayed, but they fell asleep. "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" Jesus told the disciples 3 times. When Jesus finished praying, it was time for them to go and face hard things. Even though Jesus had many friends, he had some bad enemies too. Some people were scared that Jesus would change the world too much with love. Judas got scared too. He let Jesus down. Judas told some of Jesus' enemies where Jesus was. When soldiers came to the garden, Judas kissed Jesus on the cheek to show them who they were looking for. The soldiers took Jesus away. Judas and Peter ran away and hid. They were so scared. Later, Peter waited outside the place where Jesus was on trial. A girl saw Peter and said, "He's a friend of Jesus. He's in trouble too." Peter wanted to help his friend Jesus, but he was scared, so he pretended he didn't know Jesus. "I don't know him. I don't know him." "I don't know him," Peter said. His lie made him feel even worse inside. Peter ran away again. He cried and cried. Peter felt so sad for Jesus. Peter felt very, very sorry. But Jesus knew that Peter loved him. Jesus knew that Peter was his friend. That's why he had given Peter such a special job. The rock became a strong leader in the church. He told many, many people about his best friend Jesus. "I know him. I know him. I know him," Peter told everyone, and that was the truth. Jesus struggled because of the hard thing he faced. The disciples struggled to stay awake, and then they struggled to protect Jesus, and then they struggled to be good friends. So many struggles. Everyone struggles. Even Jesus struggled. Today we're learning that when you struggle, Jesus rescues. But you know, in today's story, we didn't see a lot of rescuing going on, did we? Jesus could have rescued himself. He said so. He said that if he asked, God would send thousands of angels to the rescue. But he didn't ask. He let himself be arrested. He let his friends struggle in a situation they didn't understand and couldn't change. And sometimes it's like that for us. Sometimes we have to struggle. Jesus doesn't promise to take every hard situation away, but he does promise to be there with us. He knows what it's like to struggle. He knows what it's like to go through a really hard situation. But this story isn't over. We'll see tomorrow that Jesus does rescue. Please join me in prayer. Oh Lord, when we begin to struggle, help us to remember that Jesus is with us even if we are not taken out of the situation. Comfort us by reminding us that we are not alone, but Jesus is with us. Amen.
Thank you for joining us here at Castaway Island. If you would like to do some other VBS activities, please see the links in the description below, where you will find a link to other VBS activities. You will find a link for the Shipwreck song album, so you can learn the songs and the motions that go with it. And you will find a link to KidVid Cinema, where you will hear the stories from real children who have dealt with our Bible point themes each day. Also, make sure to check out the St. John website, which there is a link below in the description where you can make sure you are signed up for St. John's VBS, and you will get a link in an email to our Zoom meetings at 7 o'clock each night, where we will be gathering together for a reflection time. On the St. John website, you can also make a donation to the Youth Ministries VBS, and we will be making a donation to the UCC Disasters Ministry. The UCC Disasters Ministry is helping to care for all of the disasters that are happening even during this pandemic time. There have been dams that have broken and flooded cities. There have been wildfires and all other kind of disasters around the world. And UCC Disasters Ministry is caring for those family and peoples in this crisis in the midst of this pandemic. We thank you for joining us at Castaway and for your donation to this mission.